Well, hello everyone. My name is Miriam Cunha. Welcome to my channel. It's an esoteric metaphysics transformational channel. These are the subjects that I like to talk to the most. I am trying my other microphone here. I hope the volume is good now. And let's try again. The subject of this video, it's about the big divorce we're going through as a group, as humanity in this planet. And it is a divorce from an abusive relationship of long time. So I have been studying this subject. Well, I've been studying several subjects all my life, but the subject of abuse and the psychopaths and narcissists that are around this world and how we actually get into this abusive relationships in our lives and how to perceive when we're being abused, how to get out of the situations. I've done a lot of work, internal work, spiritual work, emotional work, mental work for deprogramming this programming that most of humanity has gotten. I that one I think I can say 100% of humanity probably has gotten that programming of accepting abuse, because the forces that are on the leadership of the system, of the biggest spectrum of the system on this planet, they know very well how to manipulate that, how to program, how to break down with our individual system, breaking down our brains, our emotions, setting the field for acceptance of abuse without questions and submission to any kind of orders or beliefs that are brought to us from the system. So this is a very um, complex and deep subject. Is not from one day to another that you can fully understand the complexity of what it is an abusive relationship and how do we accept to be on it and how we get out of it. I've been working towards cleaning layers of that for a long time, for many years. And first, I think we have to actually acknowledge. That is the first step to start working on the way out of being in an abusive relationship or in abusive relationships. Because that is another thing that I realized during this process, is that if you still have that pattern, you can divorce from one relationship that is abusive, but that you will keep attracting other relationships, even if it's not like a marriage partner. You keep attracting friends. You see these abusive relationships in family members, and then on the top of the scale of the pyramid, you have your relationship or our groups relationships with the leaders that are most on this planet, psychopaths and narcissists. So if you can't acknowledge that reality, then you can't start your work to get out of it. First, you have to acknowledge that there is abuse, that there is a lot of psychopathy and narcissism, and I would say selfishness in the behavior of most of the leaders of this planet. That I cannot say 100%. There are some people who got to leaderships that are not like that, and they are helping to fight against the other side. The thing is that for humanity to get out of that, and that is something that is making me very happy because I was almost losing my hope that more people would wake up to that. And but after what I've seen that has happened to Canada, despite the outcome of these last few days, I think it is a big step into breaking up with a big abusive relationship of psychopaths and narcissists on the leadership, which have been working for many years on breaking down the self esteem of the people. Okay, so talking in general again, there are several governments around the world. Most of them, the ones that are abusing their people, which are most of them, obey to one top of the pyramid, and the top of the pyramid gets narrower and narrower to a handful of people who actually control the marionettes and the whole game. And this matrix is a big game for them. They have a lot of fun. They feed out of our lower frequencies energies like fear and anger and sadness. And that's why it is important, after acknowledging that this exists, that this abuse and that's another word, this punishing, this torture exists on the planet, and that we accept it, then it is up to us to break up from it. Then we have to understand that we outnumber them because there is just a handful of top beings that are regulating and managing everything. And those are the ones who create the rules of the game. It is up to us if we want to play the game or not, right? Because a relationship of abuse is nothing but a game playing, a power, hunger, game playing, power and control. That's what they want because they feed off our low vibrational emotions. So we have to actually change our vibrations, change to a different frequency, start tuning into the frequencies of unconditional love, happiness, laughter, enjoyment, peace, art, creativity, fun. And that is what I've seen on the Canadian people during this protest, despite what the main media and these leaders said and described this movement as being. I have to laugh about what they described, and I'm not going to repeat what they said. But what I've seen from the people involved filming, because nowadays everybody has a cell phone and everybody was filming and sharing on social media, and this is what you have to see and analyze of this movement in Canada. It's what was really going on, right? It was a peaceful movement. It is a peaceful movement with a lot of fun, children involved, playing, singing, dancing, sending love to one another, hugging, being happy, because they decided, or we decided, to say enough is enough. We're not going to accept this abuse anymore. And a divorce of that level, it is as difficult or more than a divorce of a couple. So, back to our main subject, we're going through a divorce from an abusive, narcissistic, psychopathic relationship with the leadership of this planet. It is a worldwide movement of awakening. We're receiving waves of frequency energy of high level from the center of our galaxy sun, which is helping us to awaken. The ones who decide to surf through these frequencies are awakening, and it's like, okay, I don't need to submit myself to this punishment, torture, suffering. I can be happy. I'm free to be happy. I'm free to decide by myself what is best for me. I don't need anybody telling me what is best for me. What do I have to put inside my body or not? Where do I have to take my children or not? And I know this talk of freedom, deep inner spiritual freedom, freaks these creatures out because they have been working so hard on submitting humanity to that, and out of a sudden, this wave, cosmic wave from the central sun of the galaxy comes and let's see who awakens from this, and then lots of people like, what? Really? This is what's been happening. All we have to do is change our frequency and be happy, no matter what, right? People risk people. I'm so proud of those people. They risked their ways of living, their bank accounts, their jobs, their families, their trucks, their everything to be there and show humanity that we are free to be happy, to rejoice, because there wasn't really a big threat like it was painted to humanity. Threats are always there, but it's not like that, because this particular one we've been through these last 2 years in this planet has a bigger purpose for more control, for more submission, for more torture. And the ones that are deciding right now their deeper spiritual level that they are not aware of, they're deciding to do not see that right now, deciding that they will comply and follow the psychopaths and narcissists that lead things here, unfortunately, are divorcing from us who are decided to follow our freedom of choice, our happiness path. While you are inside of the abusive relationship of any kind, you think that that is happiness. That's the max you can have because you don't deserve it. And that's lack of self esteem, and that's what humanity has been going through, lack of self esteem. So, in order to break up from an abusive relationship, we need to work our self esteem to understand about our higher selves, to understand about our spiritual connection with the universe, with God, with however you want to call this force that unites us all and harmonizes this whole existence of the universe. And that is what you have to tap into to be able to step out of this abusive relationship. Unfortunately, many people on this planet have decided themselves not to awaken to that and to keep submitting themselves. And not only that, but laughing at the other side, laughing at us, calling us names because that's all they seem to know what to do. They laugh at you because they call you names. Oh, you are a denier of science. You are. They call you names all the time and they don't really know how to debate because They're just following what they're being told, and they are blindly doing so. And that is a divorce that we're all going through in different levels. So we are divorcing from some family members, we're divorcing from some friends, we're divorcing from some jobs, and we're divorcing from the psychopaths and narcissists on the top of the pyramid leadership of this world. Going through this divorce is not easy, my dear beautiful souls. We know that, and divorces are never easy. It's a division we didn't want to happen, but this universe gives each one of us the free will of choice, the free will of choosing to keep being beaten and abused, and the free will to choose to be freed, to rejoice, to love, to hug, to be joyful. So it is a choice. It is a choice, individual choice. And that is something that no creature on this universe can escape this law of the free will. And that is why the leadership of this planet that keeps part of the humanity under abuse, they trick humans because they always let you know what they're going to do because they have to have your consent to keep abusing you. That is very important to understand. Without our individual consent, they cannot abuse us at any level. And that is up to each one of us to understand and draw the boundary in any levels at your house, protect your house, protect your energy field, protect your family groups, protect your community with launching your frequency field that states very clearly that you have a boundary and you're not submitting to the abuse and to the torture. So that is important to understand. Again, divorces are not easy because we have this free will universal law, and many humans have been deciding that they want to continue to be abused, and because it is too much for them to look at some of us. And I would say I have some family members that do not talk to me anymore on the same level because they look at me and it is too much for them to to take on the sight of that they can actually be free as well, be happy, rejoice, but they prefer not to. So they prefer to just tag me and call me names and put me down. And I say no to that kind of abuse too, right? So, because I am out of that frequency. So, if you're coming from that level, I'm out of your frequency. I am out. I'm on another frequency. My goal is happiness, it's harmony, it's unconditional love, it is rejoicing the life, the beauty, the creator, the creators. We are co-creators. And again, I understand that this brings us sadness. I have been sad at witnessing the amount of people from my life that are away from me now because of different ways of looking at that, different decisions, right? But we have to move on. Some of us came here to this planet at this moment to actually help out with the awakening. And I am happy now to see more people awakening than I thought that it was going to be. And that started in Canada, where I didn't think it was going to start, because people here are so uh, peaceful and so polite and so considerate to others. That's why I would say this is the country that has the biggest number of volunteering people ever. Anything that happens here, people want to help and volunteer for that. And that is beautiful on Canadians. And I thought that that kind of uh, behavior was never going to lead to step out of the abuse from leadership. But actually, people decided that they could do that in a peaceful way, despite the outcome of what happened these last few days. It is, it has been, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. And this, the divorce can be seen in another perspective, which is the freeing yourself from a situation that wasn't making you happy, harmonious, and loving. So think about it. We're divorcing from people of our lives, divorcing from system, from the abusive relationships with the leaders of this planet, from the corporations, etc. It is in a way sad if you want to connect with that kind of frequency of sadness for what they have been doing and that we have to step out. Or you can look at it from a different perspective, which is the happiness of freedom and liberation from that abusive relationship with whomever it was. And blast their way to continue doing what they want, but being away from this unrespectful relationships, it's more helpful for us now in terms of awakening our spirituality and evolving than actually submitting to abuse just because we want to be accepted by other groups that are following that. And I will leave you with those thoughts. Please comment. I will always make time to answer your comments and your questions, your feedback. I welcome your feedback. And I have always the links where you can follow me and get in contact with me and help the algorithms of this video on this platform to grow by clicking like, commenting, and sharing. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Until my next video.